Life's a competition. I mean, I'm not the first person to say that, but yeah, for some of us, everything is a competition.
And when it comes to broadheads, I've made my choice. I choose a broadhead that creates happy.
How these guys are putting this story together, it really makes sense, but there's so much work that goes into just a 30-second spot.
Use of the bow and arrow dates back to the dawn of time. What was once a means for survival has now become much more for modern man. Technology, innovation, entertainment, and sustenance are all the driving force behind the world of archery today. For millions of hunters and enthusiasts alike, archery is a major part of our lives.
People got to feel that passion when they come in the shop and know that it's really what you love to do.
My name is Tim Burnett, and I've been blessed to have a career in the outdoor world for nearly a decade. Making your passion a career is tough, but it can be done. There are many career paths to go down, stories to be told, and journeys to be had. My quest is to showcase some careers in the archery world and to share the lives and lifestyles of a few professionals who have found their way. Located 80 miles south of Salt Lake City is the rural community of Nephi, Utah. A small sleepy town bordered by farmland on one side and Mount Nebo on the other. Nephi might be one of the last places you might expect to find a thriving archery shop. For the next 2 days, I'm going to spend time in their shop. Even though approximately 30% of all archers live in rural America, only 6% of all people who participate in archery live in the West. I'm curious to find out what they've done to not only survive in small-town USA, but to thrive. Well, meet Riley and Jen Warwood and their 3 little girls.
So, Riley, what were you doing before you started the bow shop?
Before I started the bow shop, I was an electrician.
Would you ever go back to being an electrician?
No, I have no desire to ever be an electrician again.
He was a hunter, and he was going to always hunt.
A family that hunts together stays together. I kind of live by that. My kids love it as much as I do.
They love being outdoors.
We kind of find ourselves every time we're out hunting.
I can't explain the passion that you have for something until you actually experience it yourself.
When all you dream about is the outdoors, it gives me more drive to continue doing what I'm doing.
If you work hard, you can accomplish great things.
But everybody automatically thinks you're going to fail. Just let that be a driving power. Just, not that you want to prove people wrong, but I guess that's what you're doing.
As long as I had his back and he had mine, we could do whatever we wanted to do.
Why did you guys even decide to open a bow shop?
Just not a shop that I felt close to us that was giving customers the service that we wanted to provide.
We decided that we wanted to be home with our kids, and so I quit my job, and I was home for about 5 months, and he said, let's open a bow shop.
Actually, I called one day from work. I said, hey, go drive around town, see if you can find a building. She's like, a building? I said, yeah, we're going to open an archery shop. You really going to do it? I said, yeah. She supported me in everything any idea I've ever come up with, and I've come up with some pretty good ones. And she drove around, and this was the only place that we could find that we could shoot 20 yards that was available. So even though it was not in the shape we wanted, we decided to make it work.
Every time we thought we had a few minutes to talk, someone new would walk through the door. Not the best case scenario for me to do my job, but as far as Riley and Jen were concerned, these were not just customers. These were real people with real lives and real dreams. And if Riley and Jen had their say in the matter, they were going to do whatever they could to help make those dreams come true. In a fairly recent survey conducted under the direction of the Archery Trade Association, nearly 19 million Americans participate in some form of archery every year, and that trend continues to grow, with the fastest growing demographic within that survey being women and kids. If today in the bow shop was any indicator, I would say that it looks as though that survey might not be too far off.
Like this is a poured magnesium riser, this is still a cut aluminum on the seats.
I know on the bear, you didn't even need to have it at a bow press.
No, you don't here either. Yep. No bow press required.
Appreciate it.
You bet, thank you. Have a nice day. If you have any troubles with it, give me a call. You shouldn't, shoots perfect bullet holes. I did do some CAMO adjustment on it, but it's shooting perfect.
When we come back, I'm going to get Jen's take on women and hunting.
We killed things because we ate them.
Riley is going to set up my personal bow.
I've never seen you shoot one.
And we take a closer look at the cam that has everybody talking. Why did you miss? Was it you or was it your bow? Maybe it's time for a change. Step up to the Prime Performance Zone, an advanced accuracy system of superior strength, balance, and control. It's the most advanced and most accurate system ever made. The Prime Performance Zone compensates for less than perfect conditions, giving you accuracy in the field when you need it most. So was it you that missed? I'm betting it was your bow.
Jen, did you grow up in a hunting family?
I did not grow up in a hunting family. I hunted with my cousins actually a couple of times. We just went with, and it was fun, but never anything that I had to drive for or that I cared. It was just fun because I was invited and I was there. I actually did not do any hunting until I married Riley. One of our first conversations were that he was a hunter and he was going to always hunt, and I should be okay with that. And from there, it kind of was history.
So you grew up in a farm type of upbringing around animals?
Yes.
Is it hard for you to see an animal killed, or?
When you're brought up in a lifestyle like that, you have more appreciation for it, actually. We are all in a life cycle, and especially animals. We killed things because we ate them.
Did you ever see yourself working in the outdoor industry?
I always wanted to be in the outdoor industry. I dabbled in some outfitting, did multiple different things, but I always actually wanted to start a store, but it just took a lot of time. Did I ever really think it was a real possibility? No, till I really sat down and started putting it together, building a business plan and really thinking it through and talking to people that I realized it could be reality, and so then we went forth with it.
I think sometimes for us outsiders looking in, it's easy to only see the sunshine and roses. But for a new couple with 3 young children at home, there must have been some struggles along the way.
People wouldn't buy a bow. Well, we'll buy a bow when we see you're here for a couple of years, But, how do you know, I guess, till you try it? You got to take some risks, but I used that as a driving power. I just went, you know what, I'll prove to them I'm going to be here.
As we both started this, we're both gonna work it. It's gonna suck for a while.
So I worked a full-time job, and we had to fluctuate hours around kids' schedules. And so at first we had a couple days we was open all day, and then it started to be, I think, at like 3 o'clock once our kids was home from school. 2 days she would be here from 3 until whatever time I'd get off work, and then I would come in, and I think we'd run 3 to 9 at that time.
I basically took the orders in, had the bows ready so that when he came at 3, he knew what bows he had to restring, what work he had to do, and then
sit here all night and restring bows. If I started a bow shop again, I would still start small, gradually grow into it. I think it just helped with our customers to get to know us personally and, get some trust in us before we were so far in that we couldn't get out.
I've got to say that I'm truly impressed. To be able to have done what they've done with so many obstacles stacked up against them, it's easy to see why so many in the community have become so attached to the bow shop. Spending time with Riley is a lot like hanging out with my own brother. The common bond between hunters and people with like-minded thinking is one of the things I enjoy the most about my job, and also one of the best things about the archery industry in general.
You'll like this sight better than any sight you've ever shot.
Good. I think that's perfect.
Gotta get the right.
Want me to hold it? No. Want me to run the Allen wrench?
I have to. Do you know how to work tools?
Yeah.
Well, you said you shoot a bow.
I shoot a bow.
You do? I've never seen you shoot one.
Killed. Yeah, like what? Let me think here.
Looks good to me, man. Excited. Let's go. Ready to go shoot it, or?
No, let's go back and check the timing on the cams, and then you can take some shots through it.
Okay, cool.
So this is your hooter, huh?
Yep.
You'll just draw back, until you cut. See, and then you can just see where it cuts through. These are timing marks, and so you make sure that they're both rotating at the exact same time. And then double check down here to make sure it's the same also. Which, if it was off, you'd have to go put it in the press and take one cable and twist it. And then once you've set that, then you roll it up to set your stops. I just leave a little gap so I know. And then you want to check this one to make sure that they're the same.
That's one thing a lot of guys are at when they see the bow that I'm shooting. They're like, what's it like shooting that double cam bow and everything? And I'm like, it's one cam.
Yeah, most people don't understand it's just a parallel cam. I mean, it's the best design that's come out in a long time for a bow.
When we come back, we sit down and learn how Jen and Riley have successfully bonded their family through archery. Jen shares how to gut a deer.
The only thing I know is you have to start at the nuts.
And the girls go hunting for tigers and bears.
That was awesome when the tiger jumped out of the tree or whatever it was.
From my experience as a bow hunter, it's easy to fear those things that you can't control. Once that arrow leaves your bow, the burden's not on you anymore. You have to trust in the performance of your broadhead. And when it comes to broadheads, I've made my choice. I choose a broadhead that creates havoc. The choice is simple. The all-new Havoc broadhead, the Terra of 2 from G5. Choose wisely.
After spending a full day in the bow shop, it was clear to see the passion that they had for archery and hunting, and it reflected into how they treated each and every person that came through that door. They weren't just customers, but a community. It wasn't surprising to see their passion translate not only to Riley and Jen's love of hunting, but also into the girls' growing excitement into learning about archery and the outdoor world.
Yeah, I grew up hunting my whole life. I was drawn to hunting by, a lot of the camaraderie. I really remember that. The association with some of the older people when I was a kid and the way they treated me as one, just like they was. I wasn't treated like a kid when I was hunting. And also the adrenaline rush that it brought. It was kind of my drug, was hunting.
I was introduced to hunting about 11. I went with some cousins. We went out on just a rifle hunt, and we were back at camp, and one of the moms decided that the girls were all gonna go and that we were gonna go out and look for a buck, which none of us intended on seeing or finding anything. Somehow we came along a nice 4-point and shot at it and actually hit it. And it was just girls, and so we tried to gut it. I remember when we were gutting it, I said, the only thing I know is you have to start at the nuts. That was my first experience of hunting, and then I actually did not do any hunting until I married Riley.
Our relationship as a couple has grown much stronger because of archery. We try to do all hunts together. Even with our kids if we can, but, Jenny and I say that we kind of find ourselves every time we're out hunting. We step away, try to forget about the business, and just, really enjoy one another's company, and it brings back a lot of memories that are pretty fond to us.
When he first bought me a bow, I was very upset, very angry. It started out as me just shooting and deciding, okay, I'll give in because I do think this is kind of fun, and wanting to be the best I could be at archery. I started out shooting, I got pretty good at it, and then he decided to put me in for some hunts, and we did an archery hunt on the desert. And when we went and hunted that desert hunt, we hunted for 22 days. We had his truck, his little Toyota that we slept in, because we would get out there and plan on coming home, and I couldn't stand it. I couldn't get away from it. I wanted to be there, and I knew we had a big buck down there. We hunted harder and more than we have ever hunted, and came home empty-handed. And it is hands down the most memorable hunt. So hunting and archery have probably bonded Riley and I to a level that I really don't think we would be at if those are experiences we couldn't share.
Not only has Riley and Jen's passion for hunting brought them closer together, it has also brought the whole family closer, as I learned on a recent archery hunt for bear.
Well, we had bought an over-the-counter Utah bear tag, and had some friends that had some dogs, so you put a dog up on a box and you drive the roads.
We were going up the main road trying to get the dogs to catch a scent, and the girls were in the back. They were kind of bored, but once those dogs hit a scent, it was like an alarm system, and they all went off. I mean, every single dog went off.
kept striking something, but we couldn't figure out what they were striking on. So later in the morning, we actually unloaded the dogs and got onto the lion.
Awesome. It jumped to that tree from that tree.
That was awesome. I just zoomed in and it jumped. I'm like,
wait, are we looking for a bear?
Yep. We caught a lion instead of a bear.
Well, I don't care. Wait, it was awesome. It like jumped off the tree to tree, and I think it was thinking if you're gonna jump to the other tree or. It was awesome. I thought it was gonna eat me.
I wasn't sure how this whole thing was going to go down because we'd taken all 3 of our girls, and our youngest is only 6 and still pretty tiny to be going into bear country. And it wasn't even the bear country that we were worried about, but the hike in and out. You might
super steep country. It just rained, so everything was super wet.
What did you think, Eddie?
That was awesome. I liked it when it jumped out of the tree.
You liked it when the lion jumped?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
What did you think about that?
I'm wet.
Yeah, and?
It was cool.
Peyton, what do you think?
That was awesome when the tiger jumped out of the tree or whatever it was. My feet are freezing.
For me as a mother, it was a little bit unsettling just because I wasn't sure. I mean, you always wonder, or not wonder, assume, what if it gets away or what if you don't get it? And I just didn't want my kids right there. But I looked at Riley and said, holy crap, what about our kids? We have our kids with us.
Yeah, I think Jenny was more scared than our kids.
I think I was, just because you don't realize, I mean, you have bear bait. The little one could have been bear bait.
After the break, the arrows are finally flying.
Get another.
Jen bags her bear,
I just treat a bear.
You treat a bear.
and the pair give advice on making dreams come true.
20 seconds and counting. T-minus 15 seconds. Guidance is internal. 12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff.
Houston, I have a visual. The C-Max has landed. The all-new G5 C-Max drop-away RRS. Launching to your dealer today.
After Peyton was successful in treeing her first tiger, the dogs finally struck into a fairly recent bear scent. Once the dogs had the bear treed, it was time to begin the long hike in.
So later in the morning, we actually unloaded the dogs and got onto some back roads, some other trails, and we actually picked up a bear track coming across the road. And so then we turned the dogs loose, and then it got really exciting.
Working our way down to the bear now.
When they said that they were onto a bear, we all got our stuff, jumped out of the truck, and started our hike without even thinking that we had a 6, 9, and 11-year-old and if they were going to be able to make it or not.
There, see where that
Pen is.
see the dog? Right there. 650 yards.
We got to the bear. I was a little nervous, but I think we were all, even in our kids, the one thing that we did notice a similarity is the adrenaline. I drew back our oldest daughter, Hallie. She actually had her iPod with her and took it upon herself to film the whole thing. I was a little nervous.
She shot a few times. Yeah, the first shot definitely was lethal, but
I just treat a bear.
You treat a bear. And?
I shot it.
And where is it now?
Crazy in the tree, dead.
Stuck in the tree. And there's the happy hunter.
I think, Daddy, I think
think, Callie?
That's cool. I got it on video on my iPod.
No, you didn't. Addie, what'd you think about that?
That was cool.
Huh?
That was awesome. Dad, you it's so loud.
I feel like hunting really brings a family together. Just so much that's put into it. It's not necessarily the kill, it's the hunt. The time spent together. The kids still
I think they were still more excited about it.
Yeah, they still talk about it, how exciting it was to be a part of it and to see it.
And once we got back, we were all wasted, tired.
I wasn't, they was all tired.
Oh gosh. The girls though, literally hit the truck. And all three of them said this was the funnest thing we have ever done. And it didn't stop there. Days later, they've asked when we're gonna go again as a family. They love it. They love, that's our Disneyland. That's what we do, and that's what they love.
Watching firsthand how archery and hunting have bonded this family together has been inspirational. Seeing the girls' excitement for the wild brought back memories of my own youth, dreaming of the life that I'm so fortunate to be living now. And it sure seems like the Warwoods are living their dream too. Early on in this process, I asked the couple why. Why did they start a bow shop? Even though they explained the process of it all and the basics of how they got it started, I never really felt that I got the full answer as to why. Until now.
I think Riley liked archery more after he watched his family get into it. I have yet to see him as excited over his hunts as much as the kids and I's hunts, and watching us develop that excitement for it.
I love archery, so I get to not only work on bows, but I also get to associate with a lot of people as they come in. But I also get to hunt a lot. For me, it was the perfect fit to the industry to where I could do all of everything that I wanted to do in the industry and be a part of it.
We are happy with us. We're happy with the decisions that we've made. Business, outdoors, hunting, and it doesn't matter what everybody else is doing. It doesn't matter what the end thing is now. We like where we're at, and we like our goals. We like where we're headed. We like what we believe in, and we don't want to change for anything. We want to be the Warwoods that love archery, that love outdoors, and I like that. I guess it's just been a nice self-reflection and kind of a confidence booster that, you know what, we're where we need to be, and we are who we need to be.